Next one, sense of taste. So dealing pretty much with your tongue. Taste buds, which I'm sure you've heard about those before you ever took this class. So taste buds are your organs of taste. They're found scattered on your tongue. They're located within the papillae, the little bumps on your tongue, and they're scattered throughout your mouth and into your pharynx. So it's not just your mouth that actually, your taste buds go further back into your pharynx also. So if we actually look at the little bumps on your tongue, the papillae, your taste buds are found like down deep inside of them. And saliva works fantastically when we talked about chemicals and being moistened and stuff like that. It's going to cause the liquid to fall down, and then your taste buds will actually pick that up. So if I look at microscopically my tongue, stratified squamous, your tongue has a very thick layer of skin on it, unless you stick it to a cold pole and rip layers off, but it's going to have, here's the skin tissue that makes it up. And then here are your sensory fibers that are going to come out and be your, actually, they're called taste cells. So each individual one is called a taste cell, and they have little hairs at the end of them that are called taste hairs. So like I said, saliva is going to spread over the top. It's going to fall through this taste pore or opening that's in your skin, and then your taste hairs are going to pick it up, transfer it to the taste cell and your sensory fibers. So gustation deals with tasting. So gustation or gustatory cells are your taste cells, and they're modified epithelial cells. They contain the little taste hairs that I talked about. They are very sensitive to different tastes, and they are going to be found inside of those taste pores or inside of those openings. Chemicals, again, must be dissolved. So the water that's in your saliva is going to dissolve the chemicals in order for them to be tasted. If you were to like completely dry off your tongue, so there wasn't much saliva on it, and then you stuck a food on your tongue, it wouldn't taste nearly as well because it wouldn't have the saliva to break it down. Or dry, if you've had a dry mouth, like in the morning, or you've been sick and had food does not taste as well when your mouth is dry. Sense of taste involves specific protein receptors, again, that are specific to different tastes, and therefore they bind with the different chemicals that are in the food. Salt, if it contains salt, that's a specific chemical. Sugar or glucose is a specific chemical, and you have different areas of your mouth that will actually pick those up. So 5 actual types of taste cells. Sweet. So when they say you have a sweet tooth, you don't actually have a sweet tooth, but you do have sweet receptors in your mouth. Sour, salty, bitter, and umami. Others like metallic, you know, that metal taste. There's others that really don't fit into them, but umami would be more of like your, almost like a soy sauce type of taste, kind of. So these receptors are concentrated in specific parts of your tongue. So if I draw a picture of the tongue, your sweet receptors are very plentiful at the tip of your tongue. So that is a sensitive area for sweetness. Sour receptors are kind of along the outside, which is why when you eat something sour, like the edges of your tongue is where you really feel that at. Your cheeks almost get that sensation because it is the sides that detect most of that sour. Salt receptors are probably most of the widely spread. They aren't quite as concentrated in one specific area. Bitter receptors are towards the back of your tongue. So if you've ever gotten in trouble and had to, bitter would be like soap. I know when I was little, my dad made me take a bite of a bar of soap once. That is not a very good taste, and it's the back of your tongue where that is picked up the most. Umami receptors, more of an amino acid derivatives. MSG, they talk about MSG in food, and they are also pretty widespread. So the main ones are sweet, sour, and bitter that have more specific areas on your tongue. Taste buds are specific, so they're responsive to one taste sensation, and they have distinct receptors for that type of taste. Actual flavors result from the combination of all of those mixing together, and which is the stronger, which is weaker. So when you eat most food, it's kind of a mixture of all of them. Taste receptors also they're fairly quick at undergoing adaptation. Taste impulses travel along the facial, glossopharyngeal, vagus nerves. These are in your face. So they're going to be carried through these nerves to the medulla oblongata. The gustatory cortex is in the parietal part, so you taste really kind of where it's interpreted as more kind of in the middle of your brain. And that's all that I have as far as taste. Next time we'll go into hearing, and then we'll do some equilibrium activities also.